Hello everyone, welcome to Students Point. This is 26th of March and we will cover all the important current affairs of the day. First, let us see question for the day. You have to answer this question in the comment section, and on weekend, that is on Sunday, we will see how many of you were the most consistent in answering all the questions correctly. Here is the question. Yakshgana is a traditional theatre form of which state? These are the options. Read the options and then answer it. And the last day, some of you were complaining about buffering of the video. I think it is because of the lockdown, as everyone has to stay at their home and many people are working from the home only. So because of using of internet by many people at the same time, the video might be buffering. So I will suggest that if you are watching this video, please close all the existing or working apps in the background and then start this video. I think then the video will not buffer. So let's begin. Chaitra Shukla Pratipad marks the beginning of the new year of Chaitra Shukla Pratipad marks the beginning of new year of Vikram Samvat. Vikram Samvat, which is also the historical Hindu calendar, while Sak Samvat is officially used by Gazette of India, and Vikram Samvat is the official calendar of Nepal. They may ask you the question that which of the following Samvat is used by India in its official gazette. So it will be Sak Samvat. But here Chaitra Shukla Pratipad marks the beginning of new year of Vikram Samvat, and Vikram Samvat is the calendar or official calendar of Nepal, and Chaitra is the first month of Hindu calendar, and Vikram Samvat is based on day when Vikramaditya defeated Sakas and invaded Ujjain, and this Samvat begins from 57th BCE. Next question. Which statement about cess is or are correct? This is a topic of economy. When you will study taxes, then you will get the topic of cess and surcharge. So what is cess? Let's see. It is a form of tax levied over and above the base tax liability of a taxpayer. This statement is correct. So focus here that it is a tax levied over and above the base tax. What does this mean? Suppose a person earns rupees 30,000 per month. So out of this 30,000, if he has to pay income tax of rupees 10%, so it will become 3,000. So if a person earns rupees 30,000 per month, he pays 3,000 rupees as a income tax. So cess will be levied on this 3,000 rupees, not on that 30,000. I hope you understand it. That is why it is said that it is a tax levied over and above the base tax liability. The base tax is here 3,000 and it is levied over, that is over 3,000. So here 1%, let's say if cess is imposed 1%, then 1% cess will be imposed on this 3,000, not on that 30,000. Similarly, there is a concept called surcharge. Surcharge is also imposed over and above the base tax liability. So again here base tax liability was rupees 3,000. So surcharge will be imposed over this rupees 3,000. So what is the difference between cess and surcharge? See, a cess is imposed to meet the expenditure of a particular purpose, while a surcharge can be used to meet expenditure of any purpose. This is the only difference between cess and surcharge. I repeat it once again, that cess is imposed to meet expenditure of a particular purpose, that is for a particular public welfare. Let's say for education, education cess is imposed. For agriculture, krishi cess is imposed. But surcharge can be used to meet expenditure of any purpose. So I hope you got it. So let's see the next option. It can be levied on both indirect and direct taxes. This is also correct. Cess can be imposed on both indirect taxes as well as direct taxes. Direct taxes like income tax we pay on our income, corporate tax that corporate pay on their profits. So here this statement is also correct, and it is imposed to meet particular expenditure for public welfare. As I told, cess is used to meet expenditure of a particular purpose. So here C is also correct. So all these three statements are correct. D is the right answer. So you have to appreciate the difference between cess and surcharge and its definition. that it is levied over and above the base tax liability of a taxpayer. And the cess is collected by the state governments and the union territories government. And cess is not a permanent source of revenue for the government, as cess is levied for a particular purpose, and when that purpose is met, cess is discontinued. That is why it is not a permanent source of revenue. While income tax is a permanent source of revenue for the government, as government will continue to impose taxes on our income. Why in news? Because Ministry of Labour and Employment has issued an advisory to all states and union territories to use the cess fund for welfare of construction workers. See, here also the government aims to meet expenditure for a particular purpose. That purpose is for the welfare of construction workers. That is why cess fund can be used here. Next question. Consider the following statements about Indian Banks Association, that is IBA. Indian Banks Association was formed in 1946. Statement first is correct. And Indian Banks Association was formed for development, coordination and strengthening of Indian banking and assist the member banks in various ways, including implementation of new systems, adoption of standards among the members. This is also correct. So Indian Banks Association basically aims to help its member banks in adoption of new system in banking, adoption of new standards among the members. So here C is the right answer. And the members of Indian Banks Association are public sector banks, private sector banks, foreign banks having offices in India, then cooperative banks are also member of IBA, regional rural banks and all India financial institutions are also member of IBA. And recently IBA has made an appeal to people to wash their hands after touching or counting currency as a precaution measure against the spread of novel coronavirus. Should make it a habit that after touching currency notes, you must wash your hands. Next question. Consider the following statements about Kurzarbeit. Focus here, this question is very important. Kurzarbeit. It is a German term for short work. This is correct. Kurzarbeit is a term used in Germany for short work, and it provides for short time work allowance called as Kurzarbeitgeld. This is correct. This short time allowance is called as Kurzarbeitgeld, which partially compensates for lost earnings during uncertain economic situation. This is also correct. Why Kurzarbeit is again in news? Because Germany has been trying to use it again in the scenario of spread of novel coronavirus and the ongoing economic crisis. So here again both the statements are correct. C is the right answer. And what happens in Kurzarbeit? Let's see. When companies face a loss of earnings due to unforeseen economic situation, for instance the current situation, when they often need to cut back on their working hours or send some of their employees home. So under such situation, Kurzarbeit scheme aims to address workers who are impacted by loss of income due to shortened work hours during such times by paying employees a part of their lost income. So it basically pays allowance to compensate their lost income. And this policy was used during 2008 economic crisis by Germany, which helped Germany to hold its unemployment rate at 7.5% even during the time of recession, when the whole world were facing the problem of huge unemployment. Next question. The Kuril Islands separate Sea of Okhotsk from Kuril Island separates Sea of Okhotsk from Pacific Ocean. So here B is the right answer. And Kuril Islands are a volcanic archipelago under the administrative control of Russia. What is archipelago? Archipelago are group of islands that are made up of similar materials and they were made during the similar time period, and it is under the administrative control of Russia, but it is under the matter of dispute between Russia and Japan. Why it is in news? Because 7.5 magnitude of earthquake has hit northern Pacific and the quake was 37 miles deep and struck the eastern Kuril Islands of Russia. IUCN red list status of olive ridley turtle is, so it is categorized as vulnerable in the IUCN red list. So this was the previous day question. Next question. Consider the following statements about MP LADs, that is Members of Parliament Local Area Development Scheme. This question is very important. Let's see. MP LADs aims to enable MPs to recommend works of their developmental nature with emphasis on creation of durable community assets. Assets like pool, bridges, and it is based on locally felt need to be taken up in the constituencies. So this statement is correct, and it is a central sector scheme, and it comes under control of Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So this statement is also correct. It is a central sector scheme, not a central sponsored scheme. What is a central sector scheme? See, under central sector scheme, the whole fund is provided by central government, while in central sponsored scheme, part of the fund of the scheme is provided by central government, while part of it is funded by state government of that concerned state. And central sector scheme is wholly planned by central government, and it comes under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Earlier, this scheme used to be under the control of Ministry of Rural Development, but it was transferred to Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. And the scheme entitles every MP of rupees 5 crore per year. This statement is also correct. Here all these statements are correct. D is the right answer. And it was announced in December 1993. And in the very next year, that is in 1994, it was transferred to Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. And Lok Sabha members, that is MPs belonging to Lok Sabha, can recommend works within their own constituencies out of this fund. And elected members of Raj Sabha can recommend works within the state they are elected from. You have to focus on the difference here, that MPs belonging to Lok Sabha can recommend works within their constituencies only, not out of their constituencies, while elected members of Raj Sabha can recommend works within the whole of the state, while nominated members of both the Raj Sabha and the Lok Sabha can recommend works anywhere in the country. See, nominated members. So, 2 members are nominated in Lok Sabha, while 12 members are nominated in Raj Sabha. So, these members can recommend works anywhere in the country. And recently, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation has made amendments to the scheme guidelines. And this amendment will allow MPs to recommend funds for purchase of medical testing and screening equipments for government hospitals and setting up of other related facilities to contain COVID-19. Next question. Consider the following statements about Central Drugs Standard Control Organization. In short, it is called as CDSCO. CDSCO comes under Directorate General of Health Services, which is under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, is the National Regulatory Authority of India. This is correct. CDSO is National Regulatory Authority of India, and it comes under Directorate General of Health Services. Drugs and Cosmetics Act makes CDSCO responsible for approval of drugs, conduct of clinical trials, laying down the standards for drugs, control over the quality of imported drugs in the country. This statement is also correct. So this is a function which CDSCO performs, and it is headquartered in New Delhi. So this statement is also correct. So here again D is the right answer. And why it was in news? Because first made in India test kit to diagnose COVID-19 has got the commercial approval of CDSCO. See, commercial approval. And what does diagnose mean? Diagnose mean testing. And the kit has been developed by Pune-based MyLab Discovery Solutions and Germany's Altona Diagnostics. I repeat the name: Pune-based MyLab Discovery Solutions and Germany's Altona Diagnostics. And this kit detects infection within 2.5 hours compared to 7 hours, which was taken in the current protocol. And currently we use kit imported from United States of America, but now we have developed our own kit, so now our own kit will be used for it. and this is also cost effective as per test will cost only rupees 1200, which was much higher for the previous kit. Next question, MSCS 4028 is a MSCS 4028 is a biofortified high quality of wheat. Here A is the right answer. And Agarkar Research Institute, which is based in Pune, operating under Department of Science and Tech, had developed this wheat with the help of UNICEF, and this will help to contain malnutrition in the country. See some more facts. Abel Prize, it is given in the field of mathematics. So Abel Prize for the year of 2020 is given to two great mathematicians. They are Hillel Frustenberg and Gregory Margulis. I repeat it, Hillel Frustenberg and Gregory Margulis, and they are being honored for their work towards probability and dynamics in the number theory, combinatorics and group theory. And Reliance had set up first hospital of India that will operate exclusively to treat coronavirus patients. So they may ask you which company has set up the first hospital of India which is exclusively to treat coronavirus patients. So it is Reliance, and it has been set up at Seven Hills Hospital in Mumbai. And this hospital has facility of negative pressure room. What is negative pressure room? See, it is a technique in medical centers that prevent cross contamination. As coronavirus is known for its rapid contamination, so it is based on this technique to avoid contamination. How does it work? It allows air to flow into the room, not outside the room, and as such it prevents air from coming inside. So if you find the video useful, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, answer the question in the comment section, wait for the upcoming video. Until then, stay safe and stay at your home.